Hi, this is Kim Pinkney, and welcome to the Daily Doodle. This is the Fighting Fishmonger. She is a part of a challenge that I was thinking about taking on, and what it is you're creating a superhero, and over the course of a month, you should have a pretty good superhero story, or that thereof. So here I am. I decided to take the random route again. I went to seventhsanctum.com and rolled up a character, and the occupation that I came up with was a fighting fishmonger. And also along with the challenge, the first character that you have to create is a big bruiser. And I decided to make it a female, but I didn't want her to be this behemoth creature. I wanted her to be a good fighter, someone who could stand on their own. And I don't really have a name for her, but she is the Fighting Fishmonger. And she is a young woman who can use fish as her superpower. It's her fighting ability. She puts fish on the end of her fists, and she commences to pummeling you with them. And as she increases in ability and evolves like a Pokemon, she starts to change physically, and to the point where she can pretty much pummel you with a whale. That's as far as that's maxing her out right there. So this is her at the very beginning. I wanted her to have humble beginnings. So she's going to start off as just a humble fisherman who has learned how to master the art of fish combat, or combat by fish. I wasn't sure what kind of outfit to give her, so you'll see me erasing and adding and erasing and adding. And all the time I'm thinking of, okay, so if she's a poor, humble fish seller, what kind of outfit would she have? And she is the Fighting Fishmonger. That's what I put up there to remind me of how to develop her. And one of the things I decided was that she's going to be, as a fisherman, she should have like an olive skin tone. You know, she's out in the sun a lot, and she's picking up fish. Also, I wanted her outfit. I didn't want it to be skimpy. I wanted it to be functional. Trying to keep in mind, but I was also trying to keep in mind what would a superhero wear. So at first, it started off with just a shirt and some swim trunks, and then I'm like, no, we can do a little bit better than that. And so I started playing with the idea of a bathing suit, and I did some research trying to find bathing suits that would work for me, but a lot of them were just too sexy. So I'm trying different little shapes and what not to put on her. And eventually I decided on something similar to a wetsuit. And it was really hard trying to figure out, how to draw it and then scale it back, trying to edit myself. It's like, what would look good, and also what would function best for her situation. I wanted her to be tough. I didn't want her to be sexy. I mean, she's a fighter. She doesn't, she's not, I didn't draw her with big boobs like you'd see in a lot of American comics. I wanted her to look like a fighter who's just starting out. So she's lean, and she's not beaten all to a pulp yet. I mean, she's fresh. She must be quick, and she must be talented in some sort of way. So right now I have given her tattoos to kind of spur her on. Maybe they have some meaning for her. Like the bubbles on one side could mean hope, because bubbles always rise to the top. And fish, this is her chosen occupation. And maybe she's come from a family of fishermen and fighting fishermen. And so the dead fish may mean something to her. Maybe she's 3 generations into this. Maybe she's the 3rd generation, so maybe her descendants will have the fish on the arm, and maybe the bubbles mean 3 kills or 3 victories, 3 major victories that were overcome, as you see bubbles on the other arm. This picture is really small. It's on paper it's on my mixed media paper that is only 7 by 10 inches, so I'm only able to get certain details in there. Um, so I've come up with like a high cut bathing suit, so it'll allow her to use her legs a lot, and move around and do whatever aqua acrobatics that she may need to do. Once I came to her feet, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, so I pretty much left them kind of like, almost like gladiator shoes, with a big fin on the back, so they're like kind of like boots. I wanted something that wasn't going to be like giant fins on her feet that were going to hinder her, but in a way I wanted that to become her feet. So as she becomes the more advanced fighting fisherman, she will be, her body will start to change. And I wanted her to have some sort of octopus or fish-like thing, so I gave her, on her utility belt, where she might be keeping bait or hooks or whatnot, in a little pouch onto her side, she's also got these tentacles. Maybe it'll help her grip things. Maybe she can control them with her mind. Haven't decided yet, but I have them just dangling around her legs. And she's got 2 big fish, so those are her first fighting fish. Maybe I have a superpower where the tentacles would dive down into the water, pick up these fish. These fish would be flung up in the air and fall on her fists. And now she's ready to fight. Or maybe she's just finished fighting, or maybe she's, looking at someone like, yeah, come on, you think you could take me on, give it a shot. So here's the black and white version. And I wanted her to be pretty, but I didn't want her to be overly pretty. I didn't want her to be overly sexual. I wanted her to be taken seriously. Or just because of her youth, maybe not underestimated. So right now she's got some sort of scales on. I decided to start with the skin, and I used multiple layers to try to get to my olive skin tone. So I wanted her to have like this greenish tinge to her. That's more of like the olive, and I started building up with that. I'm using Crayolas, and I'm also using the Crazy Arts pencils that I have. And one of the pencils that I picked up was a deep plum. Also using, I used like maybe 4 or 5 different colors on this. I used the green, I used the tan, a taupe, I think this was being seen right here, a deep plum to outline. I used a peach to kind of blend it all together, and maybe the yellow, the golden yellow, to kind of give it more of like a yellowish tone. I didn't want her to be just tanned. I didn't want her to just be leathery dark. That would be like a reddish brown, and that would be more of like a seasoned fighter, like what her father was or her mother was before her. And so here I am using a little bit of the peach, and then a lot of it just comes together and makes this olive tone. I didn't want her to just be, I wanted her to be more Mediterranean. Someone who's surrounded by water all the time, and just sun-kissed by the sun. And I apologize that it's so far back. I wasn't able to take this into my photo editing program. That's when I was having some problems. So I'm darkening in the tattoos, and you'll see the fish. So I'm thinking that maybe she's the 3rd generation fish fighter. And let's see, what else can I say about her? But I really don't have a name, and I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with this challenge where you're creating a superhero. This was really hard to come up with. I did struggle with it for a while, and over a course of the days, I completed the character. But I would like to have her evolve. I would love to see what her final evolution would be. She would have probably been really cute with just white hair, but I decided to make it more of a golden brown. She's been out in the sun a lot to train, to fish, to learn the craft. and she's a tough negotiator. If you gotta sell fish, you gotta get the best price for it. And if you've got people who are giving you lip or not paying the bills or whatnot, you gotta regulate. Or if you come across dangerous enemies, there's the shoes I was telling you about. Yeah, you need to be able to take them on. So here's our fighting fishmonger. She is my big brute from that challenge, and maybe on the next doodle, that'll be the next one. So here's the line art, and here's his colored in. Thank you for joining me with the Daily Doodle, and I hope you enjoyed this. And if you do, like or subscribe, and let me know what you think. If you think I should continue, or if I should continue this challenge. And you have a great one, and thanks for watching.